You hear me?
Yes, I got it.
He's there.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. on Fox Sports 910.
Hour number 3 of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B out here at Right Toyota. Dan Manucci alongside Jackson Groff. We got Chris Schubert, man in the controls, and as promised, we finally tracked him down, the new head coach of the University of Arizona Wildcats, Brent Brennan, now joining us finally here on the Right Toyota guest line. Coach, it's Manuch alongside Jax. I can only imagine how busy and hectic it is, but we truly appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us here with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. How are you? How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be on with you guys. Let's go.
I got to tell you what, the Phoenix market, man, the U of A Wildcat alumnus up here, and they're all excited for you down there. And my first question is, okay, you hit the ground running. You're at San Jose State. You get picked. You're the head coach at U of A. Do you not sleep for a week straight trying to get everything settled in? You get your staff going. You got recruiting going. You're trying to prevent guys from leaving. How has that been the last week and a half?
Yeah, to say the least, it's been hectic, but it's been great. It's been this whirlwind of, kind of great emotional moments, fun stuff, some hard stuff, saying goodbye to my previous team in San Jose, but it's all part of the process in the business. So I'm excited. I'm having a great time, and I love being at the U of A, so I'm ready to get after it. A
lot of folks don't realize you were there. We'll go way back to 2000. And as a GA, I believe, was that under Coach Tomey when you were the GA back then in 2000?
Yeah, that's correct. I was here with Coach Tomey.
And the one thing, when I look at all your stops that you had, and you've done great where you have, especially at San Jose State, and Coach Tomey was there for a while too. What kind of a philosophy or a way of life as far as a football coach is that you bring back to U of A via the late great Dick Tomey?
Well, I think the biggest thing is Coach Tomey just started with caring about his players, and that was universal. And, I'm definitely built that way, and so are the other coaches that we're putting together here on the staff. And we're going to start with that, right? The football is the football, but at the end of the day, we also have a huge responsibility to the young men that are a part of our program to treat them the right way and help them grow and mature and develop, off the field as well. And so I'm committed to all those things. And Coach Tomey was such a big part of that with all of his players. I think that's why those teams always played so hard, because they were so committed. They were committed to each other, and they were committed to the coaching staff.
Coach, looking at some of your press conferences and hearing from other coaches, they say the biggest thing that you preach is establishing relationships. I'm terrible with names personally, but how have you been able to develop a skill to adapt and relate to some of these players and staff every place that you've gone? And then my second question for you, how is it, getting to know the current players on your roster?
Yeah, I would say I'm answering the same question at the same time. Both questions, to me, it's all about spending, time with people, face to face. And especially for the young people that we're working with now, so much of their life is digital communication. I don't work that way, right? So I've had players in and out of my office every day, sitting down, just chopping it up, getting to know each other. That was it. That's how we started initially, was when I first got here is, I just had a couple of days where I had, big chunks of the leadership on the team. And I just gave them a chance to ask questions about me. And I told them about, how I coach and what I believe in and what will be some of the things that we're going to do as a team. And, I was showing them videos of my son playing high school basketball. It's just how do we get to know each other on a level that's deeper than what we did when we started?
He's U of A head football coach Brent Brennan joining us here on the Right to the guest line. And coach, also to that fact, you come in, players that you were recruiting at San Jose State, now you move to U of A, players are being recruited by Jed Fish. I mean, it seems like it could be a kind of a vicious circle. How do you calm that down, and how do you manage those individuals that want to leave or stay, or guys you're recruiting at San Jose State and maybe blending them in with U of A? How does that animal work per se?
Like first of all, I give Jed Fish and his staff a ton of credit, right? They had a fantastic season. They've done a great job building this program to where it is right now. And so I give those guys a lot of credit. And so when you go through the recruiting process, normally you're looking at a, 12, 18, 24-month process to recruit one player, right? So obviously some of the players that were recruited by Coach Fish and his staff have deep relationships with that staff. And for them, they're like, well, that might be a better fit for me to go to Washington. Other people are really, really committed to the guys on the team here, right? And so that part of it is what's keeping them here. Is it's so much about them, right? And those player-led teams are always the best football teams and the best football programs to be a part of. Is when the players are really pushing the culture and pushing the day-to-day accountability, and that's what these players are doing here. And so, in terms of who goes where, that's happening everywhere in college football.
Sure.
And so, how do you manage it? We just try and do the best we can with what's right here in front of us right now. And that's me worrying about the Arizona football team.
And I think for a lot of alumnus that are out there, I know quite a few of them that played football. They are a sigh of relief to see Fafita and McMillan staying and supporting you and buying in to your mantra, so to speak. That had to be I would say, a big sigh of relief for you and your staff.
Well, absolutely. But I think it was a big moment for the football team, right? Because collectively, obviously, those two are really important. But also that day, we also had 3 defensive backs, put out a video and a big statement that they're returning. And then the next day, great linebacker, Jacob Manu, did the same thing. And so all of a sudden, those guys started to feel that momentum and that camaraderie, that the brotherhood that they had was still intact. And it was still worthy of staying here and fighting for and getting ready for another season together. And that's what I saw when that, with that moment of those, that weekend coming together with just the incredible response in McHale Center. Oh my goodness, that was an incredible moment. I will never forget that the rest of my life.
So cool to see those guys courtside announce that in front of everybody, Coach. But my question to you came out yesterday by Pete Thamel, confirmed that you guys are hiring Dino Babers as your new offensive coordinator. You guys obviously go back to your Syracuse days. Talk about Dino as a person, your guys' relationship, and what led you to this hire.
It's a good hire, Coach. Damn good hire.
Well, all the pieces of the staff are not yet put together. You know what I mean? And so we're still talking to those couple people, and some of those things are not exactly done all the way yet. And so, when those things are official, I'll be able to talk about it in more in depth. Gotcha. But I am excited about the coaches that we're bringing to the table. And I am excited about who we're going to surround this football team with. We're going to have great leadership. We're going to have great offensive, defensive, and special team minds. And then like I said, we're going to start with, one of those original things that I learned long ago from Coach Tomey and Dwayne Aquina and Rich Ellerson and Dino Babers and Rob Einella when I was here. And it starts with caring about the young men in your room and let that love and care for those guys push out into the relationships across the team.
And Coach, not that I want to look ahead, but hey, spring football is right around the corner. And I know with recruiting, the next signing day period's February 7th. You got to take care of that business. So I know a lot of guys already in the weight room. They're working hard. What's the schedule moving forward until spring ball starts?
Well, our guys hit the ground running on Monday. We, with our, the start of our off-season training program, we're really excited about Colin Carroll, who came with us from San Jose State. He's an outstanding strength and conditioning coach, and he's putting together a really dynamic staff. And so our players have already been getting a sense of what that's going to feel like and how that's going to be similar or different to what they're used to. But I have an incredible amount of belief with him, and the players are loving the work. And in some ways, for the players, I think it's almost cathartic for them to get back to work, right?
Sure.
You kind of went through this crazy upheaval, now all of a sudden we're starting to move back in the direction of football and training and preparation and what they're excited about being here doing. So that started on Monday, and we're off to a great start.
Coach, for U of A fans that aren't familiar with your style and what you'll bring to this Arizona football program, how would you describe your coaching style, and what can Wildcats fan anticipate when you start coaching and have that first game in September?
I have a blast on game day. I enjoy being a part of it and coaching. And so you'll see a guy that coaches with a ton of enthusiasm, a ton of energy. That's just how I'm built. And, that's who I am actually, I would say, almost all the time. But certainly on game day and in the practice environment, I feel like it's, my responsibility as the head football coach to be giving kind of that energy and that excitement to the players and reflect that with them. And so as much as I can be there for them emotionally in those moments, that's where I want to be.
Coach, I got to ask you, the watching the old tapes of Coach Tomey grabbing, one of the staff members or somebody around your neck and that little head slap off to the side. Is that like one of the WWE moves from yesteryear? And does it kind of bring you back to your senses? It's an endearing head slap, right, Coach?
It absolutely, from Coach Tomey, it was an endearing head slap, but I remember because he spoke to my team, and we were going through a really tough year at San Jose. He came to town to watch a game, and he spoke to my team the day before, and he talked about the team, and then he got that young man up, and he was talking to him, and he's talking about, giving a guy a hug and having a meaningful embrace between two men, and it was like this real powerful moment. And he kind of did that head slap, and the whole team just fell apart laughing. But the good news was that the next day we played great, and we got a win against UNLV.
Gotta love it, Coach. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're extremely busy. We really appreciate you taking the time, and hope to have you on more and more so. So from all the alumnus that I'm aware of down here, and I know a lot of them, they say, hey, best of luck to you, and I'm sure they want to interact with you when they get down there as well. But thank you so much for taking the time.
It's great coming on with you guys. You guys take care. Bear down.
You bet. That's head coach, U of A Wildcats, Brent Brennan. Got the energy that he's going to need.
I could feel the enthusiasm and energy when he said, let's go, to start the interview. I think they got a great hire. You mentioned it too, but Fafita McMillan staying there. Huge for this team. Huge momentum coming here.
Listen, I'm the producer here of this show, so it's my job to worry about the technical stuff, and so I'm going to heap even more praise on Coach. That is the cleanest phone line I think I've ever had with any of our guests ever in the history of the show. So, Coach, fantastic work there.
Great reception in Tucson.
Hallelujah. And that might have been from a landline as well. Hey, our top headlines are brought to you this hour by Big Game Viewing Party. So make plans now to join us for the Big Game Viewing Party Sunday, February 11th in the showroom at Casino Arizona with games and cash giveaways to really level up the fun and have a great time. So win your share of the cash just for watching the game. As if football frenzy isn't enough, we're sweetening the deal with exciting giveaways. Each attendee will be issued free squares to win money after every quarter based on the score of the game. Plus, we'll have a kickoff jackpot, propositions, and jersey giveaways. The jackpot starts at over $3,000. It's our 25th year of partnering with Casino Arizona. Free admission with your Salt River Rewards card. Doors open at 3 o'clock. Highly recommend that you get there early. Hey, also, you can bet the game while you watch the game. The Sportsbook in Casino Arizona, they have 3 live betting windows and 6 self-service betting kiosks, plus 8 screens displaying all the betting lines. Check it out for yourself. Open